It's outlaw in town, don't make tickets.
All right, so we're gonna move on, the parking map update.
Yes.
So. Where did we go? Lindsay got me the.
We know you're not sharing any of this, right? So that kids.
Wow, this looks way better. I think so. So Lindsay got me the hacked map. So I went in and now she's going to assist because as you can see, like over here at Getchell, I tried to put the label for Getchell on there and I can't get it to come to front to. So I on this one, like the 15th, I didn't even put that garage on there. I took it completely off. We'll denote the parking lot because that is a public parking area, but the garage is not. Same with Jackson. This label will come off, but we'll denote lot 4 and lot 1. So that's pretty much it. That green comes a lot brighter than it did on my computer. So I don't know if that green is too bright.
Well, how does that fit our colorblind issue? Green and blues.
I mean, usually you can't see green, they're actually colorblind.
Right.
So they may not be able to.
That was an issue
That's a
way at the
good
beginning,
point.
at the very beginning, so like that. Abigail brought that up, didn't she?
Yeah.
So you're saying that you're not using them as a low. You're not putting garage on there?
This is public parking.
Okay, got
So
it.
they can't park on
Okay.
15th or Jackson, so
I
I'm
got
not even gonna put it on there as,
Got it, okay.
so there's no confusion.
But we do have to download that. Sorry.
And then the other thing I think we had talked about last time, that there's a potential that we can work with Lindsay. You were already doing some of the Google stuff, weren't you?
I did tag everything in.
Uh,
It looks like they all got approved too.
So some of that, and again, maybe we can make one that's a little bit more digital friendly, so that people can pull it up on the app if they have the app when they're coming to town.
One review, 1 star. Not happy.
Yeah,
3 people.
we all should go on and fix that. City.
Y'all are greedy.
Oh, it's about parking
That's
even.
5 months
That's
ago.
funny.
That's 5 months ago.
So funny.
Doesn't count.
Well, we'll get done one day.
So whoever this person is doesn't know because the core is all paid parking, but within a block or two of the core, there's free parking everywhere.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
So that's just somebody that doesn't want to, that didn't get to park where they wanted to and they had to pay for it. I would
They're interested. What do we have the nerve to do?
charge working class citizens every day. Well, you just voted to schools.
Yeah, this was even after.
It's the reason that I don't do
Hey, did anybody respond to that person? Did I ever get a?
We are not monitoring Google comments.
Yeah.
I didn't know if the city was monitoring them. That's a city site, not ours.
So if they make public comments with a public comment form that's on the website, or
I was gonna say, they just count anybody that can't spell right off the bat.
or if they make comments like on the Facebook page and stuff like that, we do respond to those. So Amanda, the PIO, sends all that stuff to the relevant departments and asks us to craft responses.
I just didn't know if it was flashing.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure nobody is keeping an eye on Google reviews. And
So what's our goal here with Google? Are we gonna?
It was to basically,
People could wayfind the businesses without us having to put them on signs.
well, and that
No, but-
our parking structure, right?
Yeah.
To get it to recognize those.
was tagged.
So the goal is that, hey, wait, there's a P
There you
down
go.
there. There it is,
Where?
At the bottom,
bottom,
middle-ish by Google Maps.
right there.
There's a park. Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You can search for
There
parking.
you go.
Yeah.
Think you-
Oh, way to go.
Yeah,
Nice
can you
job.
put them in the middle? Can you move them around? They just- they
That's
just
probably.
stay up level.
No, I don't have a ton of flexibility.
That's fine, I was curious.
Oh, that's great. That's a big improvement.
Yeah,
It's
the
hard to
city of
repeat.
Helena, that was the other thing, I don't
Yeah.
know what you wanted it to be called, so I did city of
We
Helena.
we just do parking lot,
Okay, so that's okay if it's.
and I'll
parking
give you the
free.
history of the
Mhm.
parking lot numbering at one day.
Love it.
It's not,
It's not science. but-
Yeah.
It works though,
yeah, no, that looks good.
Oh, that is great.
Good
Thank
job.
you.
Cool,
That
yeah.
is really cool.
yeah. So I think there's a tab now where you can click just to filter by parking and all of the parking options should come up. But that's. Transit.
Transit,
Mhm. I know there was something parking you could do. Must have played with it more.
yeah. Maybe that's just something that we can put up on like, on the website.
We're over
Yeah.
the square on the left that says Helena with number 2 in it.
That is slick.
Mhm.
Great.
Yeah, lot 8.
The lots are getting better ratings and stuff.
It's, that was right.
See, this is why we needed somebody young on this board.
I think I remember I was able to push the RV, or label the RV parking too.
Yeah, that's the only,
Cheaper.
Yeah.
that is really the only place to park
I would
like
see
that.
it. The tags over. Just-
The one thing I've never seen is like school buses in there. Are they able to park there? Like it was a Greyhound.
I
came
think they
in
go
there.
up into the.
So part of the problem with parking in here is the entrance and exit.
That's what I was thinking.
Coming off of Sixth, it's not the easiest turn to make, and then exiting on the cruise. That elevation differences for some of those low riding
Yeah.
buses, they probably scrape bottom.
I've
So
seen
that,
like on Six and Ewing and they'll just chuck in the parking lot,
Because
in the residential parking.
when I owned a restaurant. See like a teen bus come down the street. I could tell they're just looking for a place to park.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So July 1st, we're gonna start enforcing that lot.
Oh,
Which one?
It's counting on that.
Well, we're doing maintenance on that lot, and we're not getting any revenue from that lot, so we have to either offload the lot to the facilities department. And then they can decide how they wanna pay for the maintenance and everything. But since we're no longer in that building, that lot is a standalone, we have to
So
recover.
is it
some.
gonna become a permit lot or
So around the building itself will be 2 hour, the handicap parking won't change. And all this perimeter stuff will be permit, and then the bus and RV will still pay.
so no kiosk in there, only be a kiosk?
No, because it'll be permit parking.
Okay, or 2 hour parking.
2 hour parking.
yeah, because there are cars parked in there all day. Not that I mentioned who they are, but
Well, just make sure you move it out before they. Move your car before they come hot.
all right. Is there anything else we need to talk about with the let's get back to the map.
No.
We're done for now.
Yeah, we'll just keep working on.
Okay,
whatever you need revisions on.
Thank you for doing that.
what color are we gonna use if not green?
We'll figure out a color that is more receptive to the.
Spectrum.
Yeah.
Colorblind people. Okay, and
Yeah, we'll get this all fixed up.
yeah, so you download the app. Is that the QR code or
Yeah.
is that, so can we just move that QR code?
Yeah, well,
QR
that's
code
where,
right below it?
that's where I had it somehow when Lindsay hacked it, it kind of moved
Oh, did it
everything.
bounce
back.
it?
It moved everything back to its like original location, which was weird.
That is weird.
Try PowerPoint, it's slick.
So.
Oh, yeah, Lindsay.
Lindsay's about- Okay, We're gonna move on to the residential district letters update.
So we had our first reading, basically a resolution of intent, and then this coming up 15th, that second resolution to pass that. Between the time we started talking about this and got it on the agenda, the folks on Benton South bought a few permits to push them over the percent mark, so they're no longer included in the resolution, but the other two, Logan and Broadway, are still included. And today, Elroy came up and double checked with me, and they have nobody's bought any permits in there, so they'll be pretty much a done deal on Monday, and then we'll go down and we'll go and take the signs down, send them a letter saying that the district has been terminated. Starting July 1, we'll take the signs down. Two very small districts, so we can get the signs down all day.
So Benton, where is that? It's
It's Clark
from where
Street
to where?
south.
Oh, okay,
Up on the hill there,
yeah.
Skinny Street.
I heard that the old Blue Cross building's filling back up.
Oh,
Have you noticed anything, Joan, with the parking?
Yeah, we have.
across from the church, the St. Pete's Church,
The great big,
The great big one.
with the
great
blue one. That's the
Yeah.
blue one, yeah. That'd be nice,
Yeah,
so,
which one is it? It's not the one with the daycare is, that's.
yeah.
no,
That's-
that's
that's
part of
The
it.
next one down.
the
Yeah.
big one.
The big one. Yeah.
Do we know who
Well,
that
you're
is,
there.
David?
I haven't heard that.
Haven't heard.
Oh, it's multiple. It's state offices are in there.
Okay,
Yeah,
so quit running an hour.
well, I don't know. Apparently the building is starting to fill up again. That's what's great about the park.
So there's not a district behind there anymore, right?
There's still a
Yeah, there
couple.
Okay.
There's still a couple.
But the thing is, I suspect those are employees. Every building in the Capitol complex seems to be under construction.
Yeah.
That'll move some of those
Oh,
back,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right.
Okay,
So, but could I have some
Yeah.
clarification on, these letters have not gone out, right?
Yeah, they did. They
So
were
not
all-
The people they've been.
They were only districts that were below the 50%. So you wouldn't have gotten a letter, and people from Park wouldn't have gotten a letter because they were all over the 50% threshold. The only three districts they would have, that they were sent out to was the Benton South, the Logan Street, and then the three properties on Broadway.
okay. All right, so we're moving on to data for kiosk use.
So this is the list by kiosk, and some of them had better descriptions, but some of them had no other description, but for the most part, you can kind of tell where these are. So I have them organized right now by most transactions to least to most transactions. So the CS is nothing. That's a weird placeholder that they have for passport app transactions, so it doesn't actually calculate on the Flowbird side. So the rest of these, we just have to look and see exactly what, I mean, city lot 2 also doesn't really count because we don't enforce that anymore, that lot.
And we moved that kiosk.
Yeah, we moved that kiosk already. So some of these that are just complete zeros, we just need to double check and see if we haven't already moved them somewhere else.
So it's a zero as in coin, but they could be using the app,
They could be using the app, but the app doesn't matter to the kiosk location.
right?
The app is the app.
Right,
Kiosk,
it's
yeah. So these are either you used a card at the machine or you used coins at the machine.
Okay.
So these ones that are all complete zeros, we're just gonna double check and see where those are and if we haven't already moved those. But then as we go down to that last chance Gulch number 1, we're gonna see where that one is at. And then, I mean, you can see it's only had 100, so this is 12 months worth of
Okay.
information. So this is the last year.
Well, look at Cinemark. I mean, it's
So like.
Well, and
I mean,
Cinemark
you wonder why
is
you're the only one in the theater.
tough. Cinemark is tough because they get 4 hours free. So they have a code that they punch in, so you don't actually have to pay for anything most of the time.
Oh, okay.
So then, yeah, Fuller 7th, 365 total over the last year.
One per day.
And I mean, if you take out holidays and weekends, it's, more like one per.
And that must be down by what, Women's Park? I bet.
On Fuller,
Probably. It's probably not by Women's, but by Hill Park.
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably on the Hill Park side of Fuller. So I mean, you can see it. So the first column is, I think, the card transactions, and the second column is the number of coin transactions. And so even the one over on Getchell, right? So a lot of people will use a card there, but very
It's an
few
actual
people.
credit card, right?
Yeah.
Not app, but actual
Mhm.
credit card. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we can't track
Yeah.
the app, it's just.
So make sure I was thinking of it.
So, but you see, I mean, that one has more card transactions than Fuller, but less cash transactions. So some of these, if,
When you use a credit card, do you get an extra fee use like the app? Or you pay for $1.50, that's what you get charged, $1.50? And
Um,
then he picks up the transfer.
you
Transaction.
you don't get the 15-cent fee just because you use your card at the kiosk, but we pay credit card fees.
Okay, so it's to our advantage to push them off the credit cards if we can. What are you paying in credit card fees?
It's our advantage for them to be using the app.
Right,
You still pay a fee, credit card fee. for that,
Yeah, we
right?
still pay, so we pay gateway and merchant fees on all of it, so,
you in the app,
yeah,
okay,
because Passport is processing the payments for us too.
yeah,
So it's nice because we just have one place that all of our fees come from, but anytime you pay with a card anywhere, I mean, if you go buy a dollar drink at the gas station, they're paying credit card fees for you using your debit card to do it. So you can see there's a few in here that obviously people use their card a lot more than they use cash.
So
Right?
about Fuller 8.
jeez.
In general.
Nice.
Generally speaking. So the column all the way to the right, I just did a monthly calculation. So that's the number of transactions divided by 12, right? So how many per month, how many transactions total per month are happening at these kiosks? So I would say any of these that are, under 50, for sure, we could probably, less than 50 times a month. That's in an average month, I think we have 22 enforcement days. So if you're only recording 50 transactions in 22 days, it's twice a day at most that kiosk gets used. So there's a chance that it could just be relocated, and that might push them to use the app instead of going to that kiosk. Chances are, if it's only getting used twice a day, it's probably the same person or few people that use it that go there every day.
Hook Arts actually shocks me with.
Yeah, that's.
Well, it is, it's an easy thing to do, it probably has more quarters than anybody else too, right, more cash.
$1,279.
I mean, I think that's a classic, what we're hearing from those businesses is, my guy stopped by to get a beer. He couldn't make it work. He had, he didn't have a credit card, didn't have an app. I think that's what 10 Mile here is. And
That's interesting. Yeah.
people running up to use the dentist.
Well, or
But they have parking up top.
up
Yeah,
on top.
if it's
There's
available.
a tiny garage down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 25 block, which
It's
I-
because there's so many businesses. I bet those are 15-minute stops.
Yeah, they're getting ice cream or whatever,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Except that would be free.
the scary thing.
Well, true.
The scary thing is how many cars are going in and out of the walking mall right now.
and so that's one of the safety concerns the Walking Mall Foundation brought up.
Yeah.
And
It's the Walking Mall Foundation.
the Walking Mall
Like
Foundation.
10 miles
Is
over.
that the new one?
Yeah.
That's
And I
fine.
don't disagree with them.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we should probably try to minimize as much vehicle traffic on the Walking Mall as possible.
Yeah.
including going into that parking garage, even though.
Right in front of the ice cream.
Oh, man, that's,
They can use
if you wanna poke the dog, I mean, the bear, I mean,
Well, Sixth is right here, and I drive that all, come back through there multiple times a day, and it's empty.
6.
Yeah, but you know what I've seen a ton of
It's too
traffic
far.
with there is that like ADA drop offs. A
Yeah.
lot of people will drop.
Yeah, a lot
off
of the older
people.
folks, yeah.
Or even people, kids and strollers, and then they
So
go,
what we're having problems with is people parking,
oh yeah,
like.
I've seen
They,
people do that.
we, the lady that we talked to, well, you can drive on there, so I can park there. No,
That's,
Yeah, no, park where?
right on the walking mall,
that's.
like right
interesting.
by the
Ross.
wayfinding sign.
Yeah.
That's why we had to put that no parking sign there, because just for her, because she kept parking there, even though after we told her.
Crazy.
Is she still parking there?
Haven't heard, I'm assuming no, now that we put the sign up, but.
Huh, that's crazy. Well. I think that falls
That's a
level
big
on,
volume.
yeah. Huh, look at all the coin usage, crazy.
Yeah, that's really surprising.
Jackson Garage,
Pretty good.
Huh.
Look at lot
That's
one,
usually upstairs of Jackson, right?
lot one, look at that.
yeah,
How many permits are, what's the percentage of permits and?
in lot one.
Yeah,
Which one's lot 1 again? That's,
right behind the Union Market.
okay.
Oh.
There aren't any, I don't know.
That's
There
between-
is some, there.
that's
it's
between-
broad.
I don't, yeah, I
Your
don't know how
union?
many.
Your Union Market or the Union Market?
No, his Union Market.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's between, the parking lot, just between that and the wall. And
And the Jackson.
Well, it just goes to show you how many people are popping in and out for a short amount of time.
Yeah,
You know, they're running around to get food at the cafe there and Benny's and.
well, there's 6 businesses in there, but then there's it's just really quick to drop down into the walking mall.
Yeah.
Right.
So the other one, since we're on that area, because we have that, reduced fee now. We'll do a public announcement. But will let the Atlas building know that we will be enforcing from July 1 on. And that here's your option. The parking committee and staff came up with this option. We feel that's a fair option. We'll see how many.
That's worth a conversation with, and I'd go and talk with the manager.
It's changed. It's now the guy that owns Montana.
Yeah. It's
Really?
no longer Alice, yeah.
So.
So
I know though. I would bet there's a huge number of employees that would qualify. Reduced permit.
Well, I think that's what we need to, I mean, that's our response.
But you guys need to come up with our sideboards for that.
That's gonna be hard. What is it, is your tax return? I don't know,
Well,
maybe.
like I said, I talked to Michael O'Neill about that, and there are other sources, we just have to, what are some of the things that are already in place? Is it a SNAP card? Is it a, Section 8 letter? I mean, what is the,
Yeah, but a SNAP card doesn't do us any good because it doesn't have any information.
well, yeah, I don't know, I'm just saying
I can't.
the goal, for us, I think the goal is to find something that someone else has already determined, because they've looked at, we don't want to be looking at taxes, we don't want anybody's information that way.
Yeah,
But we want to be able to say, already have, this, whether it's a Medicaid card, I don't know, what. Or how do you speak?
Something more permanent than. People are going off and on Medicaid and SNAP.
So I think what we just tell them that this is an annual permit, they have to renew annually,
Yeah,
and unfortunately, these permits don't renew online. You have to come into the office and show your documentation.
yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
And so what is the?
who would help us
Well, I think we,
figure out what those sideboards?
well, Mike O'Neill with the housing, I think is one, I think we
Okay.
could talk to, I talked to him briefly.
So
I mean, I
you're
think
trying
that-
not to let the employees have this same.
Well, the
No, I
issue,
think
the issue is how do we get your working employee? I mean, how do we get someone like, who's working at, my stepkid, she works at Benny's. She would qualify financially, but she doesn't get Medicaid or anything anymore, because that got booted. And she's down there and gets a couple tickets a month because she's right behind the Benny's lot. which is, you know, your favorite lot. But she'd also turn around and buy a pass. She could buy a pass as an employee pass.
But those have been already offered.
I know, but I think
Those
we
are
need to
employees.
educate people. I mean, what I would like to do is sit down with the group and just look at things and say, okay, you have someone working at the cafe in your building. You know, what are their needs? And you say, okay, look, your employees are doing your parking here. Here's a lot that's available for you. Here's a parking pass that's available. Here's we just need to almost kind of go place by place for some of those people that are having issues
Yeah.
in some of those lots. And
We can go for it as the parking.
yeah, I mean, I would be willing to sit down and figure some of that out.
So when they come and tell us their story, why they got the tickets and all this stuff, typically our staff will tell them, hey, there's these lots, these permits, what have you, available. And
Well, I think, you know, even if your staff would kind of just keep track of which lots are they having trouble with, who are you, you know, where you get, so we go to and find those businesses and start with them first. And say, hey, we noticed that a lot of your employees are getting tickets. You know, let's sit down and figure out what, and maybe the business person cares, and maybe they don't.
well, we don't know we can tell where they're getting tickets at, but we can't. say-
Right, but I mean, if we have a concentration, let's say, we know that the ID lot is an issue. That you guys always got something going on there, someone's getting tickets from Benny's and BID.
No, just because we watch it, maybe.
Right, well, and also it's getting, you know, it's getting those tickets.
I think there's the,
But I think if we could,
yeah, the bigger issue right now that we can break into this is,
we need to determine.
we need to determine the sideboards for these low income spaces. And that's, I don't know how to do that. We're gonna have to talk to somebody that works with low income people. Or
Exactly.
get housing, exactly. That's one issue. The other issue is the BID is gonna, start working on, and has already started working on a PR program for parking. And we're really hoping that you can help us out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
can help us out.
I don't know.
That's the face of parking downtown.
So
My
the-
house gets bombed, I'm gonna be living with you.
So the other thing that we found out when looking at other places that have passport. Don't know why it was never offered, but they have stock. How to use our kiosks, how to use our app, YouTube videos,
That makes sense.
so we're getting those and
That would be great.
we're replacing those with the old videos. And it's already done, we just have to.
Well, I think the message is, we heard you. You said there was, you know, issues with parking, we now have some low
Right.
income, we have employee things, we have permits, we have. And we're still trying to keep the maintenance of the building and the parking garages and whatever. So come talk to us and find out where you fit
Exactly,
into the thing, so everyone's gonna be different, depending on what kind of employee you have.
yeah,
You know, and this, whether we just have maybe we should have this little subcommittee of this group that. You guys say, you know, we've got the woman who's parking in the parking garage, I mean, oh, she's, you know, who's parking on the mall. And then you guys can push them our way and we just go out and do a little education. 'Cause
well,
even though you said we've got employees, you know that the owner hasn't really passed that down to them. They might not understand
The
it,
approach, like if we're having these conversations, I'm just trying to devil's advocate
Yeah.
here. Like if an employer is gonna have this conversation with us, don't you think that if they really truly are invested in making a better situation, wouldn't they come up with some sort of like match or bonus system with their employees to like figure that out? Like, I don't know if that for. a
that's who the
successful
employee
work,
is,
That's,
you know, is it the windbag waitress?
yeah,
Is it,
Well, I also think maybe it's up to the owners of these businesses to share that information as a benefit when they're
Exactly.
describing,
a job
Yeah.
there.
yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
come to work here, these are the options for your parking. You know, I mean, I just think that we can work with the employee, but I think the business owners need to take some responsibility.
well, half the issues we have are business owners. I bet you, the people that are parking and getting tickets are people that work downtown. You know,
So-
it's not the people coming to downtown.
Maybe we should take a little time at all our meetings and invite people for a little education session. or
Well,
something.
I do think it's useful to go seek out these.
I think we gotta look at them and say,
Here's all the options, because I think a lot of people don't know what all the options.
well, they don't know what their
are.
employees are doing, they don't know, they're like, oh, my employee doesn't show up, I mean, I can remember the parent. You know, like, we need parking because my people are late to work, I'm like, well, then pay for your people to park closer. Well, I don't wanna do that, well, then you need to tell your employee, I'm not paying for parking, here's where the free parking is, or you pay for your own.
Do we have
That's-
one sheet of that?
If you don't, we need to come down and so
Well,
that,
that's what we're talking about, we're talking about.
what we need to do is sit down and so that I'm not selling things that we don't really have.
We had the parking rates,
Mhm.
and it had all our options on it, including the employee parking. And we had 4 people.
But I mean, even the shared thing.
We have it in the BID, but the thing is. If there's a big
This
difference, there's a big difference between having that available and. Going up and handing it to the owner of the business.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to the owner.
They will never look at it.
Well, exactly. Well, it's also going to that owner and saying, hey, do you have someone who works Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Do you have someone who works Tuesday? It's like, you can share a permit. So right there, they could share the permit. I mean, even if the employer didn't want to pay for it. 2 employees could get together like, hey, we'll buy 150, we'll put on both our license plates. And they've solved their problem.
You know, when the kiosks first were put in place, the parking employees were walking around with keychains. That you wrote your license number on.
Right.
I have one on mine
Yeah.
still.
Yeah. And it was to encourage people like, here's what's coming, here's how it works.
I don't know what my license.
Yeah,
And so I mean, I think what the message is, we've heard your complaints and we have now addressed them as well as we think
as
we
well
can
as we
right now.
can.
And there's
Yeah.
feedback, so it's like, so we can say, look, someone complained like,
Balls in your court.
the ball's in your court, yeah, there's a point where. They have to take responsibility, like, I paid my employees parking. Because I wanted them in covered parking where it was safer.
Sure.
Now, some didn't like parking that far away, cause they were in the 6th Street garage. So they took it upon themselves to plug the meter in lot, whatever, like 9, 8, whatever it is, across from base camp there. That's their choice, I'm like, I'm willing to pay for a permit.
Yeah.
It's gonna put you here. If you wanna do it, then it's on you.
Yeah.
Well, we have that sheet.
Yeah.
And,
We should just sit down and we need to make scenarios.
Up it.
yeah, well, the BID, is available too to help. them.
Right, and I think we need to look at that, so
Because
that,
we know all business owners and all the owners, or most of them. And I think we can.
Yeah.
Reach out. It seems to me if you have that sheet and you have a parking map, you go around and it's like, okay, here's your options. By the way, it's not costing you business because, if you're paying for parking, it's largely out of convenience, hourly.
Yeah.
Because there's 2 hours everywhere.
I just think we need scenarios, and maybe what we do is we do a block by block party. And we go to them saying like, okay. 10-mile block, we're gonna meet here at this time. And we're gonna explain to you what we can think, to kind of get the word out. Of, you can share permits, there are employee things. And then see where the problems arise, maybe from there. But,
But around out the kiosk agenda item.
Yeah.
Well, all I want to say first,
All right.
we've been talking.
You're kind of on the next.
We're on the rate.
Yeah, you're kind of on the next.
Okay, because you have other items to finish for the kiosk, let's do it.
let's go.
So,
Go ahead.
Okay,
I just wanted to say, we've been talking about this for 2 years,
yeah,
and I think we've come a long way in solving the problems.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I get it that we should go out and communicate all this to the people, to the businesses, to whatever. But, at some point, these people have to quit complaining and
Well,
do some research on.
I agree, but
An adult.
build them now.
Yeah,
there is though positive in that.
There is, I think it's that conversation like we heard here, do you have a specific issue we don't know about?
but we've been saying this.
I know, but we're gonna get some kickback from the increase in rates, we're gonna say, yeah, the hourly rates might have gone up, but the parking.
Though, I'm amazed at how little comments.
Yeah.
I was on the front
Well,
page of the paper, nobody
look
said
at
a
where-
word.
Look at Work Moses, Work Moses is like, oh, it's easier just to give everyone a permit than to share. A lot of money, if they sat down and, that's their choice.
Okay,
Okay, back to rates.
back to.
Yeah.
kiosk.
So
Yes.
we will take the information that we dug up for this. We'll look into those ones that seem to be lightly used, see if we can find better spots for them. And I think even as we were looking through there, so like Jackson, I know that there's, 3 in a row there. But most of those ones that are on Jackson were still pretty heavily used, even though there's a bunch of them. So could we still take one of them out and the other 2 would just pick up the weight of the third one? Probably. So it's still an option, even though they get heavily used, doesn't mean we can't relocate it somewhere more convenient.
It's another one, back to your success story, Joan, about app being a game
Yeah.
changer for you. I think getting that out there more, because I think a lot of people are more, they use their phones for the most part now, so they're kind of used to using apps. And I get it, we put the credit card out there or whatever we put. It is one of the more convenient things that we offer for people to not worry about their parking.
And everybody, it does that. I mean, I think you'd be a perfect person for one of those little videos, like, I bought it, and my daughter helped put it on, but now I'm.
I don't wanna act like a really old person.
We'll have David, David and I use quarters.
Well,
I still have
half
my
of
change jar.
it never worked. I mean, that was the frustration, was you go to put your quarter in and it would
Yeah.
take it. And
Now we don't take 50 to get a quarter change.
Anyway.
This is good. I mean, I think this is where we are now, so we can just say to people, now we have the ability to start looking at where things being used, how can we make it more friendly? The app, and I think there's a whole thing we can do just on the app of like, I started at the bottom of the Gulfs here and I needed parking and it didn't really matter where it was.
So. These videos on how to use the kiosk that we didn't know were
I think.
a thing. Is there a way to put the QR code on there that takes you to the video, say, watch this video on how to use the kiosk?
I'm sure we could.
We could just make a sticker.
Yeah, we
Like the old guy was talking to this weekend who could not figure the thing out.
But he's not gonna have a QR code.
He
right?
can't
You
figure
Yeah,
out.
you're right.
Right, he's not gonna figure out the QR code.
Yeah, you're right.
And people aren't gonna look at those.
I'm just making it
I
something.
don't know about you, I don't use them, do you?
No.
No, okay, there you go, I don't either.
What is the process to remove a kiosk and reinstall it somewhere else?
It's not that big a deal, it's the anchor bolts.
Yeah. But if it's solar, not really a big deal.
Sure.
Yeah,
But
unbudgeted.
wired, yeah.
The wired ones, yeah. a
Sure.
little more.
So here's the other scenario on this. We don't have to relocate these. If we make the campaign to use the app, we can take out the low performers. Put them in one of our storage areas, our heated storage areas. And cannibalize them for lack of a better term, at least for the coin mix. Because I think what we're seeing is there are areas that people use the kiosks. And I think we could probably correlate maybe some of the credit card data
Yeah.
and see. And like those areas that we have 3, maybe we leave the 3, maybe we just go to 2, those are some things over the next year or 2 that we can start looking at the data. And I think when they put these out originally, they made their best guess. And some of them were good guesses and some of them weren't.
Well, yeah, we don't wanna change too much all at once.
I'm
Yeah,
not saying now, I'm
yeah,
just
no, I
saying,
think it's a good idea.
if they're not being used.
Not being used, yeah, we
then
need to put it
it's
somewhere else.
Yeah,
So was there some plan when you put these kiosks out to place them in relation to handicap accessible spots?
there was. Yeah, you guys,
I mean,
there was, so when these got put out, the addition of the new handicap spots downtown came after the kiosks.
And for a long time, they didn't ticket handicap spots.
but but the kiosks are generally put in places that are ADA accessible, right? And
I
you
wouldn't say
have
generally.
some of them,
Some.
some of them you have actually built spots.
I would say generally they're more in the middle of the block.
Well, we moved some around because, people were like, like the one in front of Birds and Beasley's in the base camp, you pull up there and they would always go to the lot. But they're getting ticketed for being in front because you couldn't see where it was and things got shuffled around, kind of where there
Yeah.
were complaints, where people.
Like the one in lot one was behind pin down curves, and so. It was moved
Yeah.
so that you could get to it in a wheelchair.
We've made those improvements.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing also, that's another thing to push the app of, you can park, before you get out of your car. You can pay for your parking. And it doesn't really matter where you are, cause you can use, you know, if you're aiming for where's the ADA spot that works best for me. Then let me push that.
It's close.
Okay,
Okay.
Next we could tag a kiosk too. Technically, or is that on the map?
We have them on GIS.
Okay.
It'd be worth looking at.
I think once we decide which ones we're gonna take out or remove or relocate, then we go through. Relocate them all, geotag them, so that not only for, the Google Maps, but also we're putting parking into our city group for asset management, so that we can follow the work orders. And from a maintenance side of lot 3 is giving us headaches, and we just have to see. Try to figure out why that, maybe it's just the location of the sun or the wind or the rain, whatever, and we just have to move that because, you know, it's continually failing or whatever the issue is.
We can have a
can you,
favorite kiosk party.
can you send us the link to the? There's a YouTube video and there's instructions that you didn't have before for the kiosks.
So we don't have them yet. We're getting them from Passport.
Oh, okay,
They're gonna provide us those links.
okay, so then, once we have those, we can have a look at it.
Tag the kiosks on the map, like this map.
Yeah. We probably could.
Well, the cartoon is a little bit hard.
If you're looking at that and I mean, chances are if you're pulling up the map, you're gonna probably use the app.
Make it as least.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go look that up and
Yeah.
then find where you put
I think the smallest amount of
Yeah.
information that gets them to the lot.
Yeah,
Okay, oh, here we go. Task force. I just did that. Pretty easy. Parking, you need to put parking in your search. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's only been out since November. But we don't have this. Yeah,
let's use that, because no one's gonna look at it anyway.
yeah.
I think so.
I think it went too fast.
I mean, yeah, to me, that didn't teach me anything,
Well,
but it's a piece,
Yeah.
it's a piece that we don't have to, I don't think we need
Yeah.
to spend a ton of time making
one
videos.
other thing I wanted to say about the whole app is. If it's after 5, it will tell you the system is. It won't tell you it's after 5, it will say. It's not working right now, that's what you get on your phone.
Well, maybe we can change that to say,
So I don't know if you can change that, it makes it sound like. Something's broken and you gotta pay anyway,
The app said it's not working.
yeah,
We can try right now.
it's after 5, let's try it, yeah.
quarters, Dave.
Yeah. There in my truck. Right where they.
Mine too, I know, shot bag.
Yeah, see, what is it?
Check.
It's
So
the
the parking in the zone is currently not allowed. Please
That's
check
wrong.
local signs for
That's
hours
good
of
one to have.
availability.
Yeah, so that's not a great method.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So you can't park in
Can't
your
park
car.
there. That's a really good point.
Versus like, congratulations, you're here after 5 and it's free.
That's much better.
Yeah,
Which it should be, because they can still pay in 15-minute increments. Up until 5, Cause we have enforcement until 5.
Yeah,
So technically, if you
That's a
went
good
down there
point.
and you didn't park, you're gonna get a ticket.
yeah. But it would be nice if it doesn't say, you know, it makes it sound
It
like.
makes it sound like it's broken,
you know,
then you're like,
parking in a construction
Yeah.
zone or something, yeah.
Yeah, we can ask them about the
But that you can't park at all.
That is bad.
Okay, we're moving on from kiosk,
Regular items.
we've discussed. Budget and rates that are going up in,
so we got
July
like,
1st.
we have 2 weeks to have.
So the renewal will open on Monday.
This Monday.
This coming Monday, the renewal window to buy July 1 permits opens, so. If you try to pay, if you have an annual permit now and you go to renew your annual permit. You'll pay the new rate starting Monday when the renewal window opens. Same thing for a monthly. If you have a monthly permit, you go to pay for July's payment. You'll pay the new rate. Passport didn't understand that for some reason, even though we've been talking to them about this for like a year. So we sent them all the new rates after they were adopted by the commission, and then Alicia bought some permits and she paid the new rate. But she bought a June permit, so she bought a June permit and it charged her the higher rate. So, not June, she bought a June.
It's about you permit, but it charged.
It charged the July rate, yeah. So, we brought that to their attention, they fixed it, so now with the renewal window, so if you try to go buy a June permit now, you should pay still the June rate.
Do we have email contacts or any way to reach out to people that buy permits?
Yes, so we are all, that email is either gonna go out today or tomorrow at the latest.
To let them know it's gonna
Okay.
increase.
Everybody that we have an email address for in Passport, which should be pretty much everybody that has a permit, because you go in and link with an email address to your permit so you can manage it. So a mass email will be going out no later than tomorrow saying that the renewal window opens on Monday and here are the new rates.
That's awesome. Actually, because I get more ticks when it just randomly is higher versus being told ahead of time. So at least it will filter some of your complaints.
Yeah, so it'll be kind of a dual message to let them
Yeah.
know.
And whose phone number's on that? Your comes to your office?
And then I go to the parking office.
Yeah, part, so it's that person's
And
repair.
you have a new hire down there, or you?
Yeah, she'll be back on Monday.
Oh, okay.
What would be nice is if you guys had a little notebook, maybe there was something that someone could, if your parking people is getting some kind of the same message, the same issues, or the, you know, somebody just came out and ripped their head off because the rates changed, for they could at least give us a clue who it was, so that we can help
We
back
can't
up.
give you that information.
Yeah, not only that, but 9.5 people out of 10, if they're gonna come there to complain and you're gonna say, okay, well, give me your name, and in your prior example.
Well, I mean, I'm not
wanting
saying for us to handle them, I'm just saying, you guys handle the
Not you,
problem.
even us.
Okay.
So in your example earlier, wanting to know like which businesses are having the most trouble or which lots, right? If you come to me and complain and I'm saying, okay, well, give me your name, give me where you work, tell me your boss's name, they're gonna be like, no, kick rocks.
Right.
Well, I think it would be nice if we have a complaint that is repeating and it's reasonable instead of.
Yeah.
Just.
Yes.
Let us back you, I'm not
It would be
saying,
nice to know.
I'm not saying they're taking down the information, like, what is your name, but they're just like, you have the problem, you take care of it, they turn and they write down. Another one from lot 1, we got a problem going on lot 1, and
Yeah,
so we know not necessarily who it is, but where are their problems?
Mhm.
And so that we can address those.
okay, we gotta get moving here because we're running against the clock. Let's talk about the TIF application update. Now that we have the
So,
raised parking
we
rates,
haven't-
do we have money?
But we don't have money.
Not
We-
until
But
July
we-
1st.
We will.
So the budget will be somewhat adopted on Monday. But none of that money is effective and able to be used until July 1.
Okay,
And then we haven't technically generated all that extra revenue with the increased rates until sometime after July. A lot of the monthly rates will
Yeah.
generate some money, or the annual, excuse me.
Yeah, so once the budget is adopted on Monday, we could theoretically start asking about TIF opportunities. Because then we can say, yes, our budget is approved, it's not effective until July 1, so we wouldn't be able to actually do anything until July 1. But the preliminary budget has been adopted. Our budget is accessible to us starting July 1, so we can start putting in an application after Monday night.
Do we have a plan and like that all written down and where we would like to start addressing these issues first, so we know what to ask
I think
for?
we were gonna start at Sixth and some of those lots. Like lot 3, lot 10. We heard. From, I think, BID. Or was that the Walking Mall Foundation, Alicia, about lot 10? One behind the Old Salt.
Oh, yeah, that must have been.
Somebody. But those are the ones that we've heard the most about.
Okay.
But we have all the ADA things documented for each one of these sites, and basically. What we do is we go and basically put a geo fence around each site. And then that generates a plan for how much improvements are needed, at least for the sidewalks and ADA ramps. And then we can piecemeal together a plan that will fit within the budget that we're gonna be asking, including the landscape. So,
And I know they met this week and already started awarding.
yeah, so they met
That's it?
this week,
That's it?
yeah. But the next application deadline is July like 16th.
Okay.
I'm looking for,
Our next meeting.
it's
We'll
the.
have one before, right? Do you need all getting
July
stuff together? Well,
9th.
the 16th, the 9th, yeah.
So I mean, I think we could probably put together a list of, projects, right? High priority projects, ADA stuff, some landscaping stuff. So, things, we can put together a list and see with our estimates, what does that price tag come out to? And then bring them to the committee and you guys can kind of go through a ranking.
We're trying to hit, what, 600 total so that we can pay for 3? Is that the goal?
I would probably come more around the 4
Okay.
with us putting up 2, even though we have 300,000 for projects, but
Right,
there's gonna be some things that are like, things that are not really gonna be necessarily tip,
eligible.
eligible or relevant.
Yeah.
That we're gonna wanna keep some of that project money aside to address, just in case, so.
Okay.
They don't say on the website when the next one, but I know when I talked to Ellie about the walking wall stuff. She had said, I thought she said sometime in mid-July.
Yeah,
Let's be,
okay, well, let's talk to Ellie. Find out when the application would need to be due, find out when we had to have the matching fund.
The one thing that they did mention because of the applications that they just approved is they basically have obligated a lot of what was in the fund. So the next infusion of funds will come in November for those tax.
So that puts us out an entire year, because we won't be able to do anything till the final summer.
We should still be able to get the 2. I would think they would have the, from what it sounded like, from what they had, versus what was asked for.
Yeah, they just said it was would went away because it was.
Sure.
Well,
So
would,
they yes.
yeah, Ellie Ray would know the amount of money that's in there, so. Yeah,
when we make our list of what we want, can we try to, I don't know how much we have to stick with that list, but let's try to be conscious of getting a project in every kind of district or block or something, so it's not like, oh, everything got done on this, on the
Yeah.
walking mall.
oh, that's a good point.
But,
Spread it out a bit.
we said, we got this TIF money, we have now 400,000 versus 200 versus 30,000. For what we're doing because of the rate increases, and you are seeing, so we're seeing landscaping maybe here, maybe there's ADA here, whatever it is. Let's be conscious so that we can say, we're trying to hit as much as we can.
So I think what we're looking for is we're looking for a timeline of when we can get that money, and we also want to make sure that everything we're asking for qualifies, and I don't see why it wouldn't.
Landscaping and the.
ADA.
ADA and sidewalks all.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
a lot
that's
of paperwork,
that's
so.
exactly what
They're
they're
gonna, they're gonna approve windows.
and elevators.
No, elevators aren't supposed to work.
Another windows. And windows.
And
Well,
windows.
window, yeah.
Okay, let's move on from that.
Not that we're bitter,
Now,
Now,
not that we forgot to ask for our own elevator.
well, we'll move on to the walking tour, parking facilities, where do we come out on that?
If you guys can get, some dates, that you all can meet. If you're gonna have more than the quorum, we'll just have to notice it.
Okay,
But,
And is that something that we're putting together, or you wanna come with us? What do we decide on?
well, we'll have, one of us or James, our maintenance, coordinator, give you the tour so that he can point some stuff out, or we can point some stuff out.
Okay.
Somebody from staff will be there, if not multiple people.
Okay.
should we use this as an opportunity? If we're going to all be there and have a quorum, should we say, hey, you're welcome to come and show us what you've also seen, or point out what you've
Yeah.
also seen? I mean,
And we
almost
should
like
publicly
double up
say,
on the year.
We're going on a field trip,
Yeah.
we're looking at places, please let us know if you want,
You
to
know,
join us, and
just
also tell us
another
what
touch
we're
point.
doing.
that's what the school district did.
Oh, yeah.
They were like, look,
Bags and blue.
everything is falling apart. This is why we need money.
Yeah. I think that would be good to just say,
Yeah.
here's an opportunity to point out things that we don't know about.
The world's worst field trip.
Well,
No, no, anybody who's gonna point that stuff out, do it because they care. Unless they wreck their car in the pothole or something. If someone's gonna take the time to show up and tell us that,
Yeah.
right.
it's because they want a better downtown.
So do we have I mean, this could get off track really far and really quickly if we're extending this. Like, do we have a target goal? Like, are we gonna visit the lots and like,
I think what we're doing is we're gonna walk around, we're gonna look at facilities and look at the conditions. And the issues with facilities.
So when it was just a couple of us, it took at least a half hour, 40 minutes. Of us just talking that are pretty familiar with like 6th Avenue garage. So again, just kind of as a reference so that.
Half hour per girl.
Keep the scope of what you want to look at,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If you're walking and taking a brisk like, oh, that looks like it could use some work.
And then if a bunch of public shows up and starts pointing out, you're gonna get stymied in a garage or two, so you might. Wanna have like a facilitator like Alicia or Callie to come to.
My guess is very few people. Yeah, my guess is very few people show up. I mean, I think we have to notice this, right? Cause
If you're gonna have a quorum.
yeah.
I think we have to, and it's also an education for us, so when you say, we need to
Yeah.
fill the lines, you say, here's a line in 6th Street garage, the other garages have similar issues. Or if you go to Jackson Street garage and see that decayed stairwell, or the one down by Cinemark and go, we have 3 stairwells that have problems. And I think we can.
Yeah.
And just kind of see that.
Okay, so this, I'm thinking this should be, when do we wanna do this? Yes.
But if you guys can get us some dates. Then we can see what staff's available on those dates. And then we can shoot back out to the committee, hey, it looks like.
We can't do a weekend, can we? Cause that would help,
No,
that won't help you guys. I just wonder if it would help other people.
guys, we should keep priority in mind too. Like, do you guys need the time to get this TIF stuff figured out and formatted and ready to go?
That's more important, yeah.
So should we wait and do this?
Maybe it would
and
be-
you guys?
We could set it up next meeting. Everybody come with your calendars or whatever.
I'd just rather see you have the time to get a good TIF application.
I'm
together.
missing
I know
it
you
that
get
way.
it, but
No, but that'd make more sense than we're going on
Yeah.
a field trip.
so we're saying we're gonna talk about this at the next meeting? Is that what I?
We're our calendar is the next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay,
We need our TIF application in more than we need to know where, which tree needs to be ripped out.
we just have a lot of
all right.
goals and
Yeah,
we
So
really
it's just,
Okay.
we set the date in July,
yeah, so everyone's brain.
I
Nice.
may not be here the next meeting. Let me know. So,
okay, you're vice president of
Yeah,
We'll
it's on top of it.
Well, Vaughn told you the date then.
I'll give you some dates before.
Okay.
So, okay,
I don't have to worry about bringing any landscaping projects.
okay, we're gonna talk about BID solid waste downtown.
I know,
Issues don't.
I know Public Works had talked to the BID about one singular issue. And I think the BID had the same opinion that I had, that I think it's a bad idea to put dumpsters in parking spaces out in the public. That's why alleys were created. Especially in the summertime when all that stuff is gonna cook and smell really nice.
Terrible.
So what the city is hoping to do is come up with like a solid waste district for downtown. And Public Works, solid waste would come up. You know, this area will dump their garbage in these dumpsters. And have them strategically placed so that they're not on the sidewalk, they're not, you
Right
know.
now, it's all piecemeal.
Well, it's
And
a
so,
lot of times, like for a business development side, we're required to plan for it and we're almost forced to put it somewhere in plans.
but the other problem is we have people that are businesses that are getting the dumpsters. And
Yeah,
then
sure.
burned because other people are
Yeah,
putting garbage in there,
yeah.
so now they're locked.
Yep.
Oh, yeah,
So
people
if-
do it at my office too.
So if we strategically place these.
Yeah, it's smart.
Have a plan to dump them, weekly, every 2-3 days.
And they're
whatever.
paid for by it.
It would be paid for by that solid waste district.
That'd be great.
Wow.
That'd make life so much
How
better.
fast is this going to happen?
Um,
It sounds like a lofty thing.
it's a little lofty, but I think, solid waste and public works has put a lot of thought into
Great.
the basis and the foundation. Yeah, we're gonna have to iron out some of the details. But I think with parking support,
Cool.
BID support in the chamber. Like the dumpsters in lot 10, right behind the old salt,
Yeah,
those garbage trucks are tearing up our lot.
right.
And so I told Public Works that they can't put dumpsters in our lots unless they want to partner with. We'll repave like an entrance exit type thing so that they can drive on some good asphalt, because to be honest, a lot of that. I'd be surprised if some of those lots aren't just double shot chip sealed.
Yeah.
And over the years, they've just been added and then chip sealed over, so now they have.
Right.
So those are the things that we have to work out, but. From a staff's perspective, that seems to be the best foot forward for everybody's interest.
Well, as the BID says, then that would be, you could decide as a building owner whether you absorb the garbage fee or you pass it on to your tenants. But that's a choice then versus,
Well,
like, for instance, like Martin's Wine, you'd see them coming in out of the class where they come out. And they use the walking malls garbage cans. It's like, no, your garbage is
yeah,
behind. Well, they're not gonna pay for it.
that's the key.
Yeah.
Yes,
You have to
restaurants
pay.
generate
Most of it.
a huge amount of garbage.
Right.
Because the US food truck shows up. And you cannot believe the cardboard that comes out of a restaurant. Well, behind the Union Market, there's two restaurants, but there's never been a recycling. There's 2 dumpsters
Oh,
back
that's
there,
silly.
but there's never been a recycling.
Well, the recycling's up
But
in the
the
next
other
lot.
thing is-
They're up. on the
Yeah,
side
well,
of that
that's the
property.
problem. Is that when you have employees, they have
That at least read this.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
At least people are talking about it.
the Nosh has a wagon. There's always been a wagon at that restaurant location. You put the garbage in the wagon and you tow it over
Yeah.
to the Jackson, corner of the Jackson, parking garage, which is where those dumpsters are. Now, I don't know where else you'd put those dumpsters,
Well, they have some ideas.
because
I like-
nobody's gonna walk further than that. There's gonna be some screaming and crying.
You don't have a choice.
Yeah, but if you told me to give them 3 more
There's no
parking
other
spots, so that.
No, they're not in parking spots.
No,
They are
they
now.
would, they're in a parking
It's
spot.
not Jackson, like dumpster from Jackson. Parking spots right now.
I'm just saying, would they,
It's
you're
in the
saying,
lot. but I don't think you could park there.
No, that one dumpster that was at the corner of the south end of the Jackson garage
Yeah.
is in one of those angled parking spots still, correct, Chris?
Oh,
So they're still that, so Northwestern came and did their box stuff, and then they put the bollards so far out that they couldn't fit the dumpster back on that corner again. So they've
Well,
been
that was
paying
the
for,
The drivers were
yeah,
slamming the dumpster
Mhm.
into the bollards, and I've called dozens of times because they put it too close to the fire hydrant to where the firefighters couldn't even open the hydrant.
we're talking about two different things. I'm talking about lot one. The dumpsters that are back
Oh. in
against
back
the mural.
corner. Okay.
Yeah, there's no lot, there's no parking spaces
No.
there.
We're talking about the ones at the south end.
Oh, yeah, that's a mess.
Well, I think we.
I don't know what you're gonna do with
These
that.
people are talking, this is huge, these people are talking
Yeah,
about districts and things, and we'll just,
yeah,
and then, like you said, BID's in on it, that we're on it. And people at least are talking,
yeah,
and then, again, that's another.
that's a big project.
There's two comments
I
on
think
this.
it's mainly solid waste that's gonna have to deal with BID on.
Well, you have to tell us what works
Yeah,
for them or not,
parking, yeah.
you know, in their trucks.
They'll come up with the plan and then they'll present.
You could pretty easily, like talking about the restaurant usage and being nice neighbors with these districts, you could pretty easily do a fee structure based off of the type of use.
Right,
Like
that,
that's one,
that is something I talked about
Okay.
with Ryan Leland when we talked about
that's a
this,
pretty
is
easy argument. You have a.
proportionally
Yeah.
charging people based on.
I mean, it's just, and you do clean cut, like you're a business, you get this fee, you're a mercantile, you do this fee, and it just goes with part of the code. The second thought, it'd be really cool to incorporate, like we do the utility wraps, to do some sort of artistic piece
Yes.
with cut wrapping these for the,
Absolutely.
not even the dumpsters, like physically, but you could, I'm assuming you're doing enclosures or some sort of thing with the dumpsters, or that's been brought up.
I'm assuming that they're gonna have to do some screening in
Yeah.
some locations.
Yeah,
Um,
so incorporating art,
that's
just
what we
like a
told them
big.
on lot 10 behind
Yeah.
Old Salt.
Yeah.
They can't just have the dumpsters up.
Yeah, that looks like it.
Yeah.
All that lot looks like.
Well, that and then their pallets for their wood,
And
they
then,
it
Yeah.
gets blown up and it's strewn all over.
It's
the
making a
place.
mess. They're leaving a lot of it along the sidewalk too.
yeah,
And
I'm
it's
sure.
now the season to tell them that
Yeah.
they either need to move it or
Yeah.
will be confiscated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna wait for a plan.
filling it in the butt parks.
We're gonna wait for, we know this is coming. We're
Yeah,
gonna wait for a plan,
Yep.
from solid waste and then.
but we're positive, we want, this is a great idea, we're
Positive, yeah.
supporting the idea of them looking at that.
Okay, so residential parking districts revision, we talked about that, right?
Well, some of it, yeah,
so this is, I think this one's more about,
revising the code.
yeah,
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So. To get in here, I have this resolution that they revised in 2014. Um. Anyways, there was. There were some stipulations that the commission put on. The residential parking districts. Like it. Now, let me share it. Let's see it. So down here. They changed it so the requested residential parking district had to be entirely in an R1, R2, or R3 area. The requested residential parking must have a new community impact. Such as proximity to a new or expanded building or change in zoning of adjacent property. So a lot of districts that were formed didn't have a new impact back in the day. So that's why they did this. And they must have a minimum of 5 properties affected by the new impact, and more than 50% of the residents within the proposed residence must sign a petition to move it forward for their consideration. And then they also have to have limited or no accessible off-street parking. So if you have garages or alley access to where you can park, you don't qualify for a residential parking district. And then petitions for A and B.
Standards. You got a garage.
So,
In an alley.
so this is one of the ones that we've used in the past. And I'm just gonna, the school district through their bond, put in money to build a new stadium at Helena High. We don't know what that exact footprint looks like, but we have a pretty good idea that there's gonna be some general impacts to the residential areas around Helena High because there's just not the parking around there. So, with that in mind, this isn't gonna be tonight and we've figured out tonight, this will be multiple meetings to go over this and give you some examples and have some consideration. But this is one of those ones that I think are going to come into play. And maybe people are gonna be fine with it. Maybe that the school's bringing state tournaments to Helena High and there's 20 teams from around the state and all the parents and everything, they're gonna be fine with all the parking. I don't know. I don't think so. But when we start thinking about revising this resolution, that may be one thing to consider. The other one to consider is enforcement times. To Joan's point, her area is impacted more on the weekends and the evenings during Civic Center or like farmers market. So how does that look? How do we account for that for enforcement and funding those that overtime or however we look at that? Those are some of the key things that I see that really need to be kind of fleshed out through this process so that moving forward maybe instead of the A and B districts, maybe there's a daytime and a nighttime district or something to differentiate the two so that, I don't know. But we got to be able to recoup some of the costs on these for enforcement. So those are just some of the things. I don't think that we were prepared to go into an in-depth conversation, but to prep you all that what do you guys want us to look at first so that we can start bringing those options to you and giving you a presentation on those. And then we can step through the revisions. And then once we get it to a point where we want to take it to the commission, then we can have, public meeting and all that good stuff. And then take it to the commission through an admin meeting. And this is what, we presenting and go from there. I don't see this as a short-term project. I see it's gonna take,
I think the school is gonna be the huge piece.
I think until this thing is really built.
More,
We're not
I mean, have they
gonna know.
even rewarded who's the architect or any of that stuff?
Oh, yeah, that's ANESMA. But
I
so.
don't even remember it being voted for. I don't remember stadium in the conversation of voting.
athletic facilities.
Everybody's gonna park right along
Little sticky
Montana.
situation.
It's gonna be,
So what about parking? I don't know if you know this, but like during the day, if they're taking up all the parking lots to build the new school will there be an issue during the day for?
I think it's two-faced, like
Yeah.
right now, you're gonna see that.
As you have reinforcement, that'll be additional reinforcement over there during the day?
So they're asking for a zone change for that parking lot that the college uses right now. The zone change isn't a done deal.
Uh-huh.
The neighborhood could come back and say, no, we don't want that zone change. And if they don't get the zone change, then there's no real feasible plan B at this point.
It's
Is that
also
where they wanna
dependent,
park at that parking lot way down?
yeah,
Yeah, and then they're gonna expand it.
and it's also dependent on the college getting the area right next to their school vacated.
for their own parking. If they don't get the right of way vacated for their own use, then they're not gonna let the high school use their lot.
It's a risky ask. Wow.
So I was just wondering about, I mean, you don't, there's no parking enforcement out there now. So
No, but
would
so the
during
new,
the day,
the new interim lots,
the new one.
where they would be parking the students in that college lot, that would be a new impact. But a lot of them have off-street parking, so we would have to navigate this special circumstances, however that looks. But yes, if somebody were to go and create a parking district over there, then our PCOs would be making rounds over there.
Because, the aggravating part about all this is that you pay for a permit. And with that permit, you think there's going to be enforcement. And I get that it costs additional money, and during the day, there is enforcement. But at night, when the impact is really there, there's no enforcement and people are parking all over, so it'd be the same.
That brings up the issue, like, okay, so you're ticketing football games, why are we not ticketing breweries downtown, why are we not doing parking? Till 9 o'clock at night, you start.
Well, and you're ticketing,
You can broach the
I'm not doing
banded hours.
well, I mean, I think it's like at the Civic Center, you don't wanna really.
The breweries aren't anywhere near a residential district.
Right, I know, I just meant this whole thing of like, and also you bought your house and the Civic Center was there when you bought your house.
And,
And so therefore.
but we also were told, we could get a permit and that it'd be enforced. We didn't know that it would be, of course, we bought it during COVID, so there wasn't much going on. But, I mean, you don't wanna punish the people going to the Civic Center either for a symphony or a concert or
Well,
whatever, but.
Get
I'm
those
a
extra
little,
kiosks.
I'm a little different on that. You're an adult. You can look at the signs, you can obey the speed limit, you cannot park there. And if you park someplace where you're not supposed to and you get a ticket, then that was the risk you got. Getchell Garage is
Is right there.
less than 2 blocks away from the Civic Center and it's empty
For sure.
during those concerts, so
Well,
there's no reason.
I don't think, but the bottom.
There's no reason
Yeah.
for those folks not to be parking in appropriate areas.
It's
and
just
I
too
understand.
tempting, there's a.
They go for the easy
that
thing
whole
and,
empty block, half a block or block.
And I understand the enforcement issue.
So that, I
Well,
think
yeah,
that has to be
so-
solved along with everything
I
else.
think the approach we want to take to revising residential parking districts in general is to really start way at the top. Should residential parking districts still exist?
Right.
That's option A. Option B is yes, they should still exist. Okay, now we move down and say, if they don't exist, fine, let's work on getting rid of them. If they should still exist, then what's the most important aspect to tackle first? Is it the enforcement hours? Is it how do you get a residential district, right? And then kind of work our way down.
Do these parameters need to change?
Right.
We're gonna have to just go systematically, step by step, because if we try to revise the entire thing all at once, it's gonna become a mess.
Yeah.
do you patrol the 8th Street by the Capitol?
Mhm.
You patrol every day?
Do 5 properties, just looking at seeing on here, do 5 properties to create a residential district for this cover the maintenance difference of what? So maybe that's, so
It's
your
$30 a year.
Is the.
So I think that factor in itself doesn't make any sense.
Right.
I
Well,
think we need to change.
so
those.
I think I could talk to one of the commissioners that was on, I think part of them, Chris has brought this up, I don't think you were here. But one of the intent was the sign being there was a deterrent.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah, I do it, but.
Maybe, but I can guarantee you where, I mean,
If
People
you're a
have more
law-abiding
manners.
citizen.
Yeah, I think if you're-
There.
in Bozeman or Missoula, they give those students a parking pass, and that what it is a hunting license, because there are no parking spaces. Yeah, those residential districts are so tight around there.
The
And they,
fee's also like
they
80 bucks.
patrol them like crazy, yeah. Yeah,
So when I was in Nebraska and they had a big football game. They just towed.
yeah,
If you were if you parked someplace where you weren't
I get
supposed
that
to
you're
be,
blocking a person's house, like,
and you know, you were in the permit parking area. I mean, we showed up one day after going to the store and there was somebody, I called the maintenance guy and the maintenance guy's like, all right. And I think it was like within 10-15 minutes, they had a tow truck there and the car was gone.
I mean, you only have to do that for a couple weeks for people to be like, all right, I'm gonna do
They'll
it.
figure
And
it
like,
out.
I
You should sit out there with a little link for $10 to park for my spot. You just.
Here's your guess.
Here's your guess for a minute.
Bozeman does that too during football.
I
games.
have.
There you go.
Need the ability to write tickets. So.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Maybe that's your key though.
Well, I-
Never tell you.
the thing about enforcement is,
Well, when my house gets blown up and you can do this.
I think you know when you need to enforce, if there's a football game going on at Helena High.
Yeah,
That's when you need enforcement, if
Well,
there's residential.
if there's a
zones
place
around
for them
it.
to park though, I mean, the church, we have the opportunity now to work with the high schools and say, there better be a plan,
Yeah,
because you can't just spread them.
This is a little
Yeah,
screwy.
go to those meetings.
It's not gonna matter right
They
now.
look at the public streets as public parking.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have no argument in that unless we
Okay.
have something to fall it on,
Yeah,
truly.
And-
And there's kind of like making this tangible. I like the approach of like this top down.
Yeah.
We also do have a little bit of time for phasing some of this, so there's no plan as far as when I'm following these meetings for the actual new stadium until like 2029. So we have a little bit of time on that piece of it. We have an immediate impact on the groundbreaking is starting next week for moving the parking. So I think we do have like, we can phase some of this.
We have that. And then the other thing that new impacts, you know, some of the schools that are being built are being enlarged. So
Oh, yeah.
I would consider that a new impact.
That's sort of doubling.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
But they also
big
have,
impact,
they also have
but
that field up behind them more.
They,
No, that's
you
private.
technically could argue though that neighborhood, I mean, if they're.
Well, no, I think you can, I think that there won't be as tight as the. Oh,
Well, here's the other thing you're gonna
Really?
see with that, if it's doubling, it's got a huge gym in it now, and there's gonna be tournaments at that place, and then you're also gonna have the residential impact on that. I mean, that's gonna be a huge for that neighborhood.
And that's gonna be the problematic with that is there's still county parcels over there.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Might be a city street, but you'd be parking next to a county resident. And what recourse do those people have because they don't get any of the benefits of the city code? So
that's they're kind of.
They should.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that easy.
I think, you know, the school district, I don't wanna,
Parking's gonna be.
Right.
enforced anyway.
I don't wanna pick on the school district, but it has brought up the, you know, this part of discussion.
It's real tangible though, you could say, look, we're having a school, it's getting bigger, there's kids, there's cars parking them on, you know, people are dropping them off, people are parking there.
And let's be honest, kids are going to park in the closest spot they can find.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty much everybody does that.
and we'll make our money that way because they'll have an app, and those go beep, paid, paid, paid.
So,
So
again,
start somewhere.
we'll start with the top down.
Yeah.
I think we all heard
I'm
the
sorry, I won't be part of it.
You can re-up your.
I think we heard that the residential parking districts need to still exist, so
Yeah,
we'll check the top box and we'll go down to the next.
for the next part, can we look at you talked about this GIS for the residential piece, can we look at that at the next meeting and start to like almost target zones so that we can kind of help facilitate that conversation a little bit too?
You're talking about around the high school.
I'm talking kind of in general, I mean,
Well,
the
what else?
are still starting pretty soon.
So what we'll do is we'll bring the civic center.
Okay.
And those parking those residential districts. And then we can use those as a model to discuss how we do after hours or specific events or stuff like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds great.
And that's the next meeting?
Yes.
Okay, on the annual report, I had already given the commission, I believe, our final that list we put together with the two top recommendations. So the city commission has that. So I'm gonna assume that that's enough for our annual report unless they ask us to go present something.
So remember, Julie had that on there as a standing item to kind of revisit
Right.
goals or whatever. You're now the chair, we can remove that. Like I told you earlier, the commission has asked for a very specific schedule for the boards to give their report. I don't know if that's gonna be like, they're gonna schedule an entire admin meeting for all the boards to come in and give their recommendations. Specific meetings, we haven't seen that yet, but we'll keep you in the loop on that, so.
Okay.
I was telling Seth that we might have to, even though the committee already gave them the recommendations not too long ago. With this new schedule, it might come around that we might have to do it again, or just update what we already did
Yeah, I think it actually says in our,
in December.
yeah, in code, which passed somewhere. Okay. All right. So I think we've identified a few things for our next agenda.
So,
We're gonna bring our calendars.
spring calendars, residential map for Civic Center as a model to look at. And then,
Tip stuff.
the TIF,
I think our tip is our most important thing.
And
We
then-
gotta get that.
the sideboards for the
Oh, yeah.
income, how we're going to
Yeah.
determine income for
Yeah,
those.
Maybe you and I can get together.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's gonna be kind of hard.
So what we need to do is go through those rate increases and kind of do the scenarios of what, so we understand what's available. You know, so what does a 4-hour parking, and we'll get back.
Will that sheet be updated?
We'll revise the sheet, and we'll
Okay.
bring that sheet.
Perfect.
Can we have that
That's a good
before then?
start.
Well, we'll have it to
I
you.
think it's already.
It's already done, I think, isn't
made.
it?
I think I already made it.
Yeah.
You just send it to the committee,
I think it's on the, so,
might be, yeah,
might be on the website already.
with the new rates.
Yeah, it is on, right, Alicia, we've looked at it.
I'm sorry.
The parking
Parking.
rates.
The new
Yeah.
rates.
Yes.
So I'm a little bit on this now, wondering if we go a broad approach and kind of start a top-down aspect and go to like the BID, go to the downtown
Yep.
district, like those meetings and start out like with bigger groups.
Yeah.
And then see how we can start to branch out from there, because that feels more tangible
Oh, totally,
versus
yeah.
targeting these.
Yeah,
little
no, I mean,
ones.
we just need to know what we have to sell.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
so if someone says, I have this employee, and we can say, this fits this parking. permit.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
you're cheaper to do the street parking and do an app, I mean, so yeah, that's what we just need to make sure that we're telling them the truth.
Yeah,
Because one that's a little iffy is the, in my mind, is the 4 hours, is it from 8 to 12, is it from 10 to 2, is it?
There's an AM, a mid, and a PM.
Okay.
I think,
There's always been the three options.
yeah, I think
8 to 12, 10 to 2. and
Well,
5.
let's now look at it.
that's,
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
trying
mean, people are busy, they just don't wanna deal with it, you know? Until it hits them in the face, then
Right.
they're unhappy.
But, you know, if we can help problem solve them for them
Yeah,
and say, you know, for,
here's some options.
there's some options and, you know, for $100 a month, you could get 6 of your employees parking. Whatever, versus them getting tickets and being late and.
Yeah, the rate sheet is up there.
Okay, so we have 4 items for the next meeting. All right, and it is 7 minutes to 6.
You were just leaving Julie on the desk.
We got a motion to adjourn.
I'll say.
Okay, all in favor?
All right. When's a good time to, catch you? I can come to you.